Yo people, welcome back to another match review slash match preview, as tomorrow we're playing Aston Villa, or today I should say by the time this comes out. But yeah, I just want to apologise for going missing for the last couple of weeks. I was badly ill for a week, had the flu, weren't working, bedridden. Then the week after that, I had to make up for that, so I was working all the time. So yeah, I didn't have time to produce any content. But I did watch the game. I'm not even going to talk about that. We'll talk about the latest catastrophe, which is this Arsenal performance on Sunday. Well, I say performance, I mean result. Because getting into it, the performance was good. Large amounts of that game, we dominated possession. You know, attacking wise, we looked like a threat throughout the game. But from minute 1 to minute 90 or 96, whatever it was, Sanchez looked vulnerable. And I always say there's key areas of the field that need to be strong throughout. Throughout the game. That's your goalkeeper, centre back, defensive midfielder, slash centre midfielder, depending on your system, and your striker. Yeah, you want your spine of the team to be strong, to be confident, to really be leaders, right? Now Sanchez, he gives it a lot of that, but when it comes to the application of his work, he's poor. Yeah, to put it politely. Now I'm not talking about his shot stopping, but like Roy Keane says, that's his job. So I'm not here to celebrate a man doing his job. The bonus bits, the bits that you expect of a top level goalkeeper for Chelsea Football Club, he cannot do. Distribution, poor. Yeah? Commanding of the box, poor. And the list goes on and on. And it was no different against Arsenal. Yeah, kept holding on to the ball, nearly slipped up a couple of times and gave them an easy tap in. It was awful. And you could see then it was making us a bit jittery. Other players were getting a little bit shook on the ball, making some bad decisions, and it was just taking our momentum and giving Arsenal the confidence to keep pressing us, to keep going, and really, they were going to get a goal. Even though, obviously, we'll come to Arsenal in a second, they didn't score in open play, it still allowed them the drive to keep attacking, keep pressing, keep pushing, which ultimately led to a couple of the corners that they ended up scoring from. But yeah, we move on to Liam. So, problem number 1 in that game was Sanchez. System-wise, performance-wise, the players are doing well, right? So I'll just put that out there. However, when we move now on to Arsenal and the 2 goals they scored from the corners, what I love that we did, and I believe I even spoke about it on here, what I love about what we did against Arsenal in the semi-finals was we put, from corners, we put like 3 man on the halfway line. What that did was it meant that Arsenal players had to stay back and defend. The box was less crowded, so there was no pinball effect when the ball came in. It would require a good delivery and a good finish, instead of a good delivery and then the ball's bouncing around and it could end up in an own goal or a striker's finish. But what did he do this time? He didn't do that. He congested the box with our players and their players, and that works in Arsenal's favour. They've been doing that all season. They've got incredible stats from set pieces and corners particularly, with own goals being a part of that statistic. And nevertheless, that first goal, it comes over, I think it was Saliba, gets the header at the back post, and it bounces off one of our men and into the goal. And it's like, just before that, I'm watching and I'm going, as soon as I saw that he weren't putting any people on the halfway line, I was like, they're going to score this. It was obvious. You could see it coming. And I've listened to the post-match press conference, and his excuse is, well, because we did it before, Arsenal would have planned for it. Rubbish. Your job as a manager is to plan for your own plan. So, cool, if they're going to make a plan for you putting them on the halfway line, think about anticipate what the manager might do in response and come up with a solution for that. The solution was never to put all of our players in the box. Never. We couldn't do it against Burnley. So why are we going to do it against Arsenal? Literally the week before that, We conceded a goal at the last minute to make it a draw from a set piece. And we nearly lost the game from another set piece, right? The following week, he decides against Arsenal, one of the best teams in the league for set pieces, as I've said, he's going to put all of our men in the box when they've proven they can't do it. Absolutely abysmal decision from Liam. So I spoke about the goalkeeper, I've spoken about Liam. Now I've got to speak about the sporting directors. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, it's Curtis Talks Football. That's why I do my instant match reactions, and I'm going to start doing some match previews on there as well. But, on the day of the games. But, with Sanchez, we had a chance to sign Mike Maignan last summer. Now, I've been corrected. He's not a World Cup winner, but he's a Nations League winner. And he's a renowned leader, has a high reputation for leading in the dressing room, and he's a good, solid goalkeeper. Better than Sanchez, simple as that. We chose not to sign him. Why? To stop some kind of pathway for, I forgot the geezer's name, but the goalkeeper at Strasbourg, we loaned out to Strasbourg. We didn't want to block his path. If we'd signed Maignan and sold Sanchez, Maignan could have been in for this season, next season, and then we could have brought the goalkeeper back from Strasbourg, bedded him in next year, so had him on the bench, maybe played him in the FA Cup, Carling Cup, whatever, and had Maignan as our main goalkeeper. So then not next year, the year after that, they could have battled it out for the first team spot, which was a similar thing we did with Petr Cech and Courtois the season that we brought him in. Instead, we don't do that. Poor squad planning. Every Chelsea supporter could tell you how bad Sanchez was and how we needed to get rid of him in the summer. But he has these good little runs where he's not as, not as vulnerable, not much of a problem. And everyone gets excited. Oh, Sanchez has changed, turned the corner. He's changed, he's better now. Lo and behold, he shows his level in the biggest moments. If we're going to win the league, it isn't going to be with Sanchez. And I even start to question whether we're going to win anything more than what we've won in terms of the UEFA Conference League and the Club World Cup with Sanchez as our goalkeeper. However, you never know in cup games, so we have half a chance, right? So anyway, going into Aston Villa tomorrow. Look, I'm hoping for a response to that Burnley game and a response to that Arsenal game. I think we will win it. I think that obviously it'll be a tough game, but I think we'll just have enough and we'll end up winning maybe 2-1 or something like that. So that's my prediction. I said it on the match reaction on my Instagram. I'm on TikTok as well. Curtis Talks Football, so go and check me out there. But yeah, I said I want Liam out. I said I want the sporting directors out, and I stand by that. Right now, Liam's got to reverse that by showing me the levels. Showing me that he has got what it takes by learning from his mistakes, but I have to see it I have to call it as I see it. And right now, he's made a bit too many mistakes for my liking. They're small ones, but they're in important moments. We shouldn't have lost to Arsenal. I was expecting at least a draw. So I'm very disappointed. And the sporting directors, I don't need to say any more than that, yeah? Poor squad planning, poor goalkeeper, left wing, struggling, right? And that's down to them as well, insisting on Jamie Gittins and Garnacho when there's better left wingers out there. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. People, thanks for watching. Road to 50 subscribers. Please subscribe, please like, please share, press the hype points. Let's get this channel and this community growing, yeah? See you again soon. Peace.